So we had a little bit of an interruption, but basically Raymond Geofrey over here was really just explaining to us how he works, how collaborations have been. We were just at the beginning of our interview, so there's still so much to unravel on. We spoke about how his identity is kind of seen in his photography and how that has always been more or less part of the plan since he was a kid. From the tender age of 5 years old, he was really looking at catalogs of like True Love magazine and Drum magazine, and he was inspired by what he saw. But not only was he inspired by what he saw, but he was inspired by what he didn't see in a funny way that worked. So he was kind of inspired to create content for African men, which he felt were not well or kind of mostly represented in terms of magazine or in print media. So I see there are a couple of people joined. Thank you, Mabata, for watching. Thank you, Bernie, for watching. I'll just continue, but I wanted to give you guys a quick shout out. Ray, we were speaking about basically collaborations, and I wanted us to talk on. You had spoken about comfort levels and how you get your models to be comfortable. You shoot in silence. There's a certain feel and mood that goes with your work that is not compromised at all costs. Earlier on, I had posted that you like to be in solitude and you like to be by yourself and take those long walks so that you are able to kind of align your thoughts and your concept, align your thoughts towards your concept and articulate it well. So when it comes to, like we had just spoken right now about comfort levels for people, do you ever kind of like, well, let me just start by saying, like, is there a procedure for the kind of people you work with? Because there's varying personalities, different kinds of people.
No, people are different. I think people are different. Basically, I think what I do is I would have like maybe a casting call, and I would have like a casting call, and with a casting call, like you would have to like bring in your Z card, send it, and I will have that, you know, and the brief would always be like for like African people who are very pro-African. I think even when they come for the shoot, they know that okay, this shoot will be about my skin tone, it will be about my heritage. So I think even with like comfort levels things, it's more like okay, it's gonna be an African shoot and they might put something in me that is
African, yeah.
So yes, I think people know
more
that
open-minded towards
they're
that.
more open-minded. I think I pick models who are very open-minded. I think they are open-minded.
Oh, that's really cool. So you gather these people, and what can you say is, do you think you have an aesthetic? Do you think there are like certain people that come in and you're like, oh no, not you though?
I think even the people I pick, I think they know that I'm gonna pick them.
So they come prepared, like if they don't get picked, that is like there's something wrong with me.
I've never, I think, been approached by someone who would maybe think who I wouldn't feature, you know, in the project, because I think it's always very particular, you know, and it's very, very specific. So I feel like even the people that I pick, they know that okay, like.
So do you think for them it's also just an interest in being part of the African narrative? They come prepared, they want to contribute to what you are doing, they understand that this is a repetitive theme, like I've been saying, something you've been doing for a long time, so they have that trust with you as well, because they've seen you like successfully do it over and over again.
And I don't think anyone would approach me for a photo shoot. I think everyone has seen my work. If it makes you uncomfortable, I don't think you'd approach me. So the people who would want to approach me, like I would go to the mall and people would say, Ray, please like put something on my head.
Put something on my head.
Or please make something for me, like what. Some people, yes, I would pass by and say, Ray, your work is so weird. But I think people who would generally approach me, like models who would approach me and say, Ray, I want to do a shoot, I think they know what I'm about. They wouldn't just ask for a shoot. They know what I want to get.
Have you ever kind of like, because you wear many hats, you're a creative director, you're a prop designer, you're a photographer, you are into fashion as well, so many different things. Would you ever conceptualize for another person in a way that, I don't know how to put this, but in a way that's somewhat, like would you be hired to be a creative director and do something that's outside the African theme? Are you open-minded to that? Or you're strictly into, it must be from...
I think what I do, even with my clients that I would get, for example, I'll get a designer, maybe they make like suits and stuff, and they would want like a concept. Obviously, I would, like I said, like, I think the people who approach me, they know what I do. So I try and approach me and say, hey, I'm selling suits, and well, can you do something about it and make sure that it becomes African, like give it your touch. Some of them would call me and say, hey, we're shooting like jewelry or handbags, but we want to like make it more African. Yeah, so people know when they know what they're getting, which is the service that I do, you know, to give something, I think, an African identity and to just make it very Afrocentric and Pan-Africanism. I think that's my touch. That's my aesthetic.
I like that. So you've and like in the next couple of months on the website, I'll be talking about branding, and I like that with you because you've branded yourself as an African storyteller, an African visualist, and you know, kind of into that kind of, that's your niche, and everyone knows that's Ray's stuff. And so all of us are just like that's Ray's thing, you know what I mean? So I like that you've kind of branded yourself around that. Do you ever, when you're visualizing, let's go back into conceptualizing, because that's something I really admire you for. So when you're visualizing, do you always see the end product, or is it one of those things where you start and then you're like, oh, let me throw this in and throw this in and throw this in, and then it kind of works into...
I think I have to see a picture first. I think I just see the picture in my mind, and I'm like, okay, it looks like this. Maybe I don't have this. I'll say, okay, let's see, imagine it in my head with this. But I think before I shoot, I know how the picture is going to look like before I start. I would never, I think, call someone and say, oh, I don't know what we're doing, but no, I wouldn't do that. So I always plan everything in my head. I just have pictures in my head. I'll be like, okay, this is what I want to produce.
So you always plan. There's always some kind of preparation that goes beforehand to these groundbreaking bodies of work. These are
sometimes
procedure.
Maybe I would maybe pass by something, maybe see a tree or something, or be in African mall, see a fabric and say, this will look good on this person, and then I will create an image in my head for that person.
Interesting.
So sometimes, yes, I just get a picture and I say, okay, this is what we're shooting, who can I shoot, blah 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 blah, but it's planned. I would say everything has to be planned.
When you collaborate, which is, like I said, something that you do all the time, most of the time, have you ever had a collaboration where you're like, this is just not work? Like, what is a successful collaboration for you? How do you...
I always see something in everyone. I think the people that I pick would necessarily think. You have IGTV,
Yes, you were saying the people that you work with, successful collaborations, you were talking about collaborations. So you said you've never really had an experience where you're like...
No.
Really?
No.
So you're confident in all your work? This is a work of art. This is going to change the world.
I think for me, it's about every time I pick someone and say, I want to work with you, I think I've seen something in them. And when I shoot, I'm trying to highlight that.
Do you know not so many people have that? I know I don't. I've picked some people sometimes and I'm like, it's not working.
It's not working, no.
Not working.
I
think that comes with time because you've been in the creative industry for quite a long time.
But I think everyone does that. Everyone I pick, and there's always something I'm like, okay, maybe it's this bone structure, or maybe it's this. Or maybe
so it becomes a thing of you, like, how do I bring that out in whatever I'm shooting?
And it shows because everyone that I picked, I think everyone I've worked with so far, everyone that I've worked with so far, you're very, very special. Don't forget that. There's something special about you.
Bruh, I feel you on that though. For me, I wrote a blog post that went up live, I was updated on my blog today, and I was basically talking about my experience with collaborations and how it's so funny because sometimes we're so hesitant as creatives to collaborate because we think people won't be interested, but so many people are actually willing to be there and help you out and really just be involved in the process. They just need to see that you have everything together, you have your stuff together. So that's another tip if you're a creative and you're watching. Let's talk about personal work. Have you tried doing work by yourself?
I have done self-timer.
Right.
Yeah, I have done that. And actually,
we want to see them.
and actually,
we want to
it was
see.
just the other day, I think 2 days back. Yes, I think I just had a moment with myself. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not sure on the start of this. So I was like, maybe I should do like a little like mini project on myself.
Did you guys hear? You heard it here first. Ray's doing a project on himself.
Yes, I'm doing a mini project on myself.
That's interesting.
And oh my god.
How's it like? Is it like, but I like, trust me, I feel you like a dog.
But
I did like, I recently posted like the cancer, a cancer tribute to my mom, and it took me the longest time to decide to post. You see, like the breast cancer awareness was in October, and I only posted it like yesterday because I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm not used to doing work that's, because we both kind of do work for Africa, like for a larger kind of demographic. It's very hard to kind of go back to being personal and doing things just for you. But I think it's important to kind of get to that point and get to like improving your self-esteem, your self-awareness, and saying like at the end of the day, it starts with me as a creative. It starts with who I am and what I'm bringing to the table, and I'm contributing that to a larger kind of. It's also my narrative, owning that. So yeah, so you think, like you said, you've been doing personal work. I just want to touch on that because, you know, like I'm also doing similar stuff. How different is it though, like the experience of shooting by yourself? I like that earlier on we had touched on the fact that, you know, you started out with wanting more representation of African men in media and print media. And so do you feel like, first of all, have you seen yourself in the people that you've shot? You photographed? Do you somehow see like, that's a bit of me?
Well, someone said that last month, and she said that and sent me a picture and said, okay, well, this is you.
Can you imagine someone saying that to me?
And I was like, okay, yes, no, I get what you mean. So sometimes, yes, there is that feeling. I think it comes across, it really does.
But with doing this new personal body of work, which is just you, how difficult is it?
I just think that it's just going to like tear me down, like to the minimum. So that's why I think I want to do it, because I just always feel like you know, you're always shooting people. I think when you shoot someone, there are no walls, there are no restriction. I think that's even why I want to do it for myself, because I just feel like, okay, I also want this experience.
Right? You give people this like amazing experience. Like, why not? Why not? I also want to be
about
part.
Like a beautiful. It's
Honestly,
not about like
the experience is phenomenal. Like, can you imagine like with you, like the way I see your collaborations come to life? Like, I'm sure the experience is insane.
It's amazing.
That's really cool. So I want to really now touch on the most important part of our interview. Yes. Louder, guys. Increase your volume on your phone. Let's talk about the magazine, bro. I'm so excited.
Yes.
How did it come about?
Well, I mean, oh my God, I've had, I think, so many, like, I would say 5 or 6 printed copies of a magazine, like in over like 5 to 6 years. And I've been hunting down for investors. Like, I've been looking for investors. I've had meetings. I've been through the most. I think with trying to get an investor, and I think we have this support group that we always do. I think we're having a meeting that I was speaking about, like, okay, so why don't you start blah blah? Why don't you? And I just sat myself down. I was like, okay, why then don't I start? Because I'm waiting for some man, some lady with like a lot of money to do this. So I was like, okay, I have everything that I want. I have absolutely everything I want. There's nothing that I need. And I said, okay, let me start. So
I like that. I love that, because even for me, like, I always felt like I would do a site in 10 years. I was like, I'm not at the stage, whatever the stage is. I was like, I'm not at that stage yet. But I've always admired that about you. Like, you could ask so many people. Like, I've always said, like, I feel like you always just start. I remember once, like, this is like, I don't know if they told you this, but I had a creative block once, and I was like, why can't I just be like Ray? Why can't I just come like this? I swear I said that, like, word for word. I'm like, how does he do it? Like, he's so consistently, like, what inspires you though? Why do you think it comes so naturally?
Oh my God. I think I maybe look up to like a higher ground. a lot. I think growing up, I've looked up to her. I remember I was in Form 2. We had a magazine school when I was Form 2. I produced a magazine with a friend of mine, and it was meant to be a fashion magazine. We were in Form 2, and you had Master came in, and he was like, no, this magazine is not getting printed. I mean, we went to like stores, we went to this. At like 14 years old, writing a magazine, he was like, no, you're writing exams next year. You can't be doing a magazine. And it was also like, where are you going to get the pictures? Because we didn't even know what a photographer does. And we had all this, so many ideas. And he was, what was your inspiration? And my inspiration was what? Vogue, Vanity Fair at 14 years old.
Right, so you're exposed to all these kind of like high-end
so
fashion.
I think from a very young age, I think it has always been like it has been on that standard. I think even every time I try and produce something, even when like the people I shoot, one of the people that I like shooting, Mina, Mina Haibon,
right.
every time you're shooting, she'll be like, Ray, I want like a Vogue picture. I want this picture to be perfect.
Right.
I think also I've worked with people who are such perfectionists and they know high end, and that's
so they have expectation, which I think is also important. A lot of people, whether it's booking shoots or I just want to quickly read Nozi's comment. She's like, I'm here for the magazine. Yes, I'm here for it too. We're all here for it. All right, that's cool. Like, I'm also so here for it. I'm so excited, George. You have no idea. We were talking about, what was I saying just now? Now I lost. You see the hype, it just messes with my mind, bro. But I was talking about the fear of starting. Like, I wanted to talk about that because for me, like I was saying, like I started the site and I'm like, but what can I, this is something I should do in 10 years when I've like networked with everyone in the world. And like, then I'm like, no, but I know Samang, I know this, I know Ray, and I know all these other people. Like, why can't I just start? So it's funny how as creative, like you were just saying, there was a certain stage in your life where you didn't know what a photographer was, but then you're like, no, I'm going to learn how to be that. I'm going to learn how to do prop designing. I'm going to learn how to do all these things. So it's funny that sometimes we block, as creatives, I feel like the deeper you get into it, the more you become, I say, more versatile, which is another post I'm going to be putting up, where you begin to kind of now dribble into other different fields of creativity because you want to bring out your vision in so many ways, and you want to maintain being in control of that process of creativity. So I think it's very interesting to kind of note on.
I think also starting, the reason why I think a lot of people get stuck with starting is they want to do something that's already out there. Then if you're doing that, you're not starting. You're just like
you're continuing.
You're just like
to like
replicating. Yes, that's what you're doing. Because even when I wanted to start a magazine, I was like, okay, I read all those magazines like book, blah 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 blah. But I was like, no, I don't want my magazine to look like any of those. I don't want. This is not a cover. This cover. This is not African. I've seen how they would come into Africa and sort of make interpretations and say, oh, this is a cover. I'm like, no, this is not African.
It doesn't have that feel.
I'm like, this is not. So that's one thing I'm even doing. I think even with this mail, someone was looking at the cover that I have with Chris, and I was like, wow, this looks like a wallpaper, an African-inspired wallpaper of some sort. I see there's a face, and it's been like replicated into life. So when I was like, oh, it looks like an African wallpaper. So I was like, okay. Then it has some sort of African. It's not like a pretty picture of a guy in a suit.
It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't just be let's look for a black person and just
so
what I mean.
That's what I'm trying to like stay away from. Even I think with words, because I put up a word in there. Someone was also saying that it's very like almost a little bit insensitive because I said, what you mean? Something about that, and I was like, no, but we are black. If at all I have like the whole cover white and have this text, it can be the cover of a magazine. Because also even we have never had words of black people being represented in the media. So
I like that a lot. We don't speak much.
No, we don't speak much. I think we're in slavery because of that whole process of slavery. Like you can't speak back to your master, you can't do it. So I think black people have never really gotten a chance, I think, to speak.
Yeah, I think just overall in expression we've been so oppressed, and it's so hard for us to kind of.
We're always trying to take in stuff from outside.
And whenever there is expression, it's expression of the West, and it's never from within. So I like that you had already started the conversation surrounding why the magazine is so different. So what you're basically saying is you went through like thousands, hundreds, whatever, of several copies of Vogue and Elle, and you're being inspired and you're flipping through, but you're like, but this is, I wouldn't want to do it, because sometimes we look at these big magazines and these big publications and we're like, oh, it's so flawless, but like if you get to a place like you where you're like, no, if it's gonna be me reading this, if it's gonna be Africans reading this content, this has to be changed. We're not gonna, just because it's from the West, we're not gonna feel.
What they also do is they celebrate that culture. Like British Vogue is so Brit, like it's very, very UK. It's that's and even the people they have on the cover. I mean, last month they had Victoria. They come with her family on the cover. Like that's what they do. They celebrate that people, and even on the pages across, it's people, UK people. That's what they do, and that is something that I think fails here. Like if they bring in like an L.
If you had an L Botswana and they hired you, what would you change?
I don't think we are going to see anything that is the same as L America or L UK. I think it's just going to be different. I know what they're going to be expecting to see is maybe a girl in a, I don't know, a Givenchy or a Dolce & Gabbana dress in Kalahari Desert. They're not going to see that. That is something in their head that they would expect to see, but
that's not what you'll give them.
That is not something that we are going to be putting in, because it is absolutely not African.
That's so cool. That is so cool. All right, let's go to. I'm seeing a couple people have joined. Hi Kindi, hi Brent, hi the Motherland, hi Abale. Thank you for watching, guys. We're just getting into the thick of things, discussing Ray's magazine. When is it launching?
It's a secret.
You're doing more surprise ones, bro. Don't play with us like this.
No, it's not going to be a surprise thing, because what I'm still trying to do is I'm trying to like put together works from this. So I might just have it at Ideas Expo, because I'm also going to be showing that. So that's one thing that you should look out to. Come to Ideas Expo. Maybe
we got our tickets ready. We're gonna come just.
Because what I'm also doing is I'm gonna have like a printed edition so that people can come.
Oh, cool!
See
right.
I'm gonna see the physical copy, and yeah, most of the work will be online. But I just wanted people to just appreciate that. I think even at the Ideas Expo, even trying to reach out to like possible investors to print it, because like I'm saying, like even with my like editor's note, I said fear to start.
Right.
This is not an L magazine. This is not a Vogue magazine. This is it's not a GQ magazine.
It's in its own league.
It's an African magazine.
I love that.
Which is something that I felt it's lacking, and I've never read an African magazine. One thing that I've always read is L from this. There's an L version here, one is South African, a GQ one here, South African, one maybe Nigeria, one that kind of thing. And I think one thing that I've done with my work is I've never wanted to produce work that I've seen before. So even with this magazine, I want it to be something that people have not seen before. I definitely know.
So excited.
There will not be page numbers.
It's just gonna be like a whole.
Yeah, there will not be page numbers. This will not conform to any standards of publication. It will be very different.
I'm playing with my life. Yes, I'm playing with my life. So how does one get involved in this? Are you calling out for?
Yes, I am. I'm still putting together a team, and yes, models. Obviously, we're going to work with models.
Yes.
These are the first people. Very, very important. And graphic designers also, even illustrators. Yes, I need a team. I need people I can work with. Lawyers, yes. I need a lawyer. Chris, hi.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. I need a lawyer.
We need lawyers up in this.
And I need, someone who has studied the English language to come help me out.
With writing, because like you had said, we need more people, more Africans in writing.
People. And with photographers, yes, I will have a call for that. Yes, but and yes, I will do. I think the creative direction when they're shooting, because I think most of them will probably shoot stuff that they've never shot before. I think that's also going to be like another different aspect.
I can imagine the experience that will offer.
Yeah, I will definitely.
And then you said abstract artists, graffiti artists, just kind of
graffiti
like
artists, definitely. I want them on board.
That's very exciting.
Like I think art, people who make props for movies, I've seen it with after, even people who does special effect. I work with a guy called Emmanuel. He does blood, blah blah stuff like that.
Oh,
like
cool.
even people like him, definitely I'm very much open to working with that.
Okay.
Skateboarders, I just want people who art. That form of art is not really, I think, recognized here in Botswana. So I want people who, even tattoo artists, definitely, definitely.
So tattoo, everything, like just bring yourself in your craft. Bring yourself in your craft. That's very interesting. So now we've talked about everything. I guess the aim of the website, from my understanding, is you want to create a magazine by Africa for Africa.
I don't even know if I should call it a magazine.
What do you want to call it?
I don't know. I think I still have not. I don't have the word for it. But a what? Book.
A book. It's a weekly book, a monthly book.
A book. Sounds interesting. I don't know, because the book that I actually even wanted to print, now still even when you're waiting on print, it was called The Book.
The book.
It was,
yes.
It was
The book.
So I'm very uncomfortable with calling it a magazine.
Why? Do you think it's because you're breaking the narrative of magazines?
Yes,
so it's
and
like
also this is not a this is not like, I don't want people to want to see this magazine. When they're seeing like the physical copy of it, they're gonna be like, okay, where's the beachy section? Where's the This is Africa.
So have no expectations. This is there. It's not L. It's not Vogue. Don't come with your expectations. It's a higher level. You don't.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, so don't.
It's not.
Y'all have heard these rules.
It's a different Bible.
Bible. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. So, like I said, the aim of the website is really just to create not a website, the book.
The book, yes.
Whatever you choose to call it. But yes, the main aim of it is to create, obviously, to push African arts, which is something we've already been doing, and as well as kind of like break boundaries in terms of the constructs of a magazine or of a publication. I think publication is the best word to use. Anything that's printed. So you're breaking those boundaries and just making it like this. I call it like if you're saying it's not gonna have numbers and everything, it's like a fluid kind of
fluid, and I just wanted to be very present now and
up to date and kind of specific to where we are right now as a culture, as Africans, that's cool. All right, and then where do you see the magazine after all these things achieved? What next for this publication?
Oh my God, I just feel like I want this to be a new thing in publication. Like I'm sure, even when you look at like Vogue, guys, do you know how much one copy of Vogue weighs?
How much is it?
Now in exclusive books it's just above 150, because I used to buy it like 180 once. Like it's along those lines. Literally they call it the fashion Bible because it's very heavy. Even when they started it, I'm sure people look at it like, what kind of a magazine is this? Why it looks like an atlas? It doesn't look like it's a book. It's like a real magazine. Right. So even with this magazine, I want it to be very different. I want to be different, and I want if you see something that is nice on another magazine or somewhere, or so you're like, wow, that's so Vogue. I want people to look at stuff and see something, say, wow, that is such an African heritage.
Right.
I want it to have the same impact with that. So I don't want it to just be like another publication that, yes, you're gonna like, and what comes up. And I want it to make a difference, to be very impactful, and to just change the way we think about Africa, because Africa is very special, and I don't think you can present Africa like how you present other cultures, other continents, it's very, you can't
do
box
things
it.
the way they do things.
Yeah,
right? That's true.
Which is what I think has been done for a very long time, and I think time's up.
Time's up, guys. You heard it from Ray himself. I want to turn to the work. I think we'll flip our chairs. This is Ray's work, and it's not even all of his work, it's just some of his work.
Parts of the work.
Thank you so much for it. This is Ray's work, some of his work.
Okay.
Looking at this now, what are your thoughts?
Did one person do that?
I can imagine how it like.
Oh my god, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. I remember when we were shooting this, like the ladies were cleaning and they were like, "Is that a candle? Are you gonna burn our building?"
It's like
It was shot
explaining to
indoors.
people.
And I remember picking this up. This was just by the entrance maybe. I remember picking this up, this on him. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure you must.
People. Oh, it's connected again. I was just talking to Ray about how he's kind of shot like more than 5,000 people with this. This is Cookeskin.
This is hashtag Cookeskin.
This is hashtag Cookeskin, which man, I love this concept. This is like my fave, all-time fave. Like
it's amazing. It's
oh
very
man.
amazing. Yeah, like every piece, I think it's very, very different, and it's very, very conceptual. And I try and make sure that I make everything that I find. I like going into nature and finding things out.
Right.
That's from
I like that you work with what you have.
I work with what I have, and yeah, I always try and find things up and I just wanted like something different for Cook because I've seen the ads for Cook, but I just wanted like to make stuff and just to be
Right.
very, very creative, which I think came out
Because
quite
I think
okay.
Coke as a product like it's more popular in Africa, in my understanding, than it is anywhere else. Like both Pepsi are
We've
big.
been drinking Coke since we were young, guys. December was Coke. But if your mother asks you to go and buy a 2-liter Coke, a 2-liter drink, you buy Coke.
It was
You can't
always
buy
Coke.
It's always
So it's
Coke.
only right that we kind of centralize it on Africa.
So Coke has always been part of our lives, and yeah,
Cool.
it has been.
So closing words, unfortunately, I have to come to an end. What can you say? What can we expect?
This is not a magazine.
This is not a magazine. Emphasis.
Not a magazine,
Right.
and we will not be having covers that we have seen across the world from Europe, from America. We'll not be having anything like what we see on Vogue, what we see on Elle, on Harper's Bazaar. This is Africa, and we have to tell our stories, and we are going to tell them the way they are and the way we see them. We are the only people who know the stories best and who we see the stories. And yeah, I'm very excited to be having this out, and I wish you could just like really see the whole thing.
I'm like, oh man, I'm excited, honestly.
I wish you could see the whole thing. I wish you could see like all these images.
These are just a few, literally, these are dropped in the ocean.
I have a lot. We're going into the millions now with Cookeskin, and it has been a project running. We are turning 1 year at Cookeskin.
Hey! So you've been doing it for a year?
I've been doing it for a year. I got actually how I started this project. I walked into a supermarket. It was December 23, 24. And you know how Coke, it's like so popular in December, like they have this Christmas thing, Santa Claus thing.
Yeah.
So I got into the store, go Imaginary, and they were like, okay, go buy a drink. I'm like, okay, where had the iron brew? The only thing that you could see was Coke. It was from that fridge to the next. And then I looked at it, and it all looked black, like it was like a Black Panther moment. And I was like, this is interesting. I was like this because I've always wanted to do something that will celebrate Black History. So I looked and I was like, cool. And I was like, okay, the color also is black. I'm like, I'm doing Cookeskin. So even people for the longest time thought Cookeskin was just the drink Coke. But what Cookeskin was the color of Coke. The way it is very like black.
Totally.
And even the way when you hold it up, the way it reflects and the way it glows, I was like, okay, this sort of has similar characteristics with our skin.
Right. I like that. Like we were just saying right now, that you've branded yourself around the African content, producing content for Africa from a visual kind of perspective. And you've successfully done that, as we can see. I could not be more prouder. Seriously, like it's ridiculously man, it blows my mind all the time. Like, I don't get used to your work. I don't think your work is the kind of work you get used to. Like, oh, it's just really, no, it's not. It doesn't have that sense to it. So I like that you've been able to maintain and brand yourself on who you are, and kind of grow into that. And like you're saying, you then begin to see yourself in the outside world. Once you begin to, I shared a quote the other day that said, once you begin the journey inward, then you can start the journey outward. And so I feel like you have successfully done that. You have been able to, like you're saying, you saw Coke and you then visualized in that instant, like, you know, Coke skin. It makes sense. So I like that you've been able to do that. I celebrate you every single day. You are literally my favorite photographer. Like, I have so much respect for your work and everything that you've accomplished. And I can only imagine where you go from here. So I'm excited for the publication to be released.
And I think just like Vogue and just like this should go around the world.
Right.
And I want an African narrative US. I want an African narrative in Britain. I want an African narrative in Russia. Just as, you know, these Vogue America,
Vogue America,
UK,
different
Vogue
regions,
Australia,
right.
Vogue China. It's everywhere in the world. And it's how they celebrate fashion. And African culture has always, I think, been something that people are curious about.
Right.
And I think it definitely sells everywhere.
Totally.
They're using it as inspiration. Why not have us presented in a way that we know it best?
Exactly.
Just,
and be the ones to start that movement.
Exactly.
I love that. Cool. So thank you so much,
so
Ray.
much.
Thank you so much. Let me just give a quick shout out to everyone that watched. Thank you, Mabato, Bernie, Real Life Artemis at Real Life Artemis, Wame, Groovy GC, Mazid, Nozi, Kundai, Brent, The Motherland at The Motherland, Abale, Gobe, Tyron, Mr. Tyron, and Matla. Thank you so much for watching my Instagram live video with Ray. It will be up on YouTube for you guys to refer to, because I'm pretty sure you guys are just as inspired as I am. So I know even I'm gonna go and like rewatch this interview again and just like, you know, kind of go through it.
With my followers.
Is it? So you'll be hearing that from Ray. We'll be hearing from Ray. We're all waiting in anticipation for the big reveal of the publication, hopefully at Ideas Expo, which is 29th, 30th November. So at Ideas Expo, you guys could, I guess, get details on how to get to the event there. What am I missing? Your social media handles. How do we get a hold of you?
African Narratives.
At African Narrative.
Instagram. I know I used to go by Raymond Geofrey, but I think now the brand is bigger than me.
Yes, I love that.
That also even, and yeah, a lot of slight rebranding that I'm doing.
Okay.
But everything I'll definitely put it up. But Instagram definitely. That's where the magic is.
Growth. I love it. So at African Narratives with a double N, the last time I checked. So African and then Narrative. You could just go to my previous stories to get more info on how to get a hold of him on Instagram. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time, Ray.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for spending time with us. And thank you. I'm pretty sure you guys have been inspired just as much as I am. So thank you so much, Ray. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.